Settle down, we're about to start the session. And kindly check in for participating in the activities in seminar. Hello, KLU. Hi.
Hi.
So, how are you all today? Good? You can prompt. This is not your class. You can prompt. You can just throw words at me. How are you feeling? Excited? Hungry? Hungry? Inka? Snacks? You want snacks? Okay. So, I asked the same question to my 25-year-old cousin recently when I visited him. This is him, as you can see. Before he was about to answer, tana answer chese munde, there were 3 people who were already ready to answer on behalf of him. వాళ్ళ నానమ్మ తాత అండ్ నాన్న అండ్ వాళ్ళు ఏమన్నారంటే వింధ్య నేను ఏమనంటారు ఇంగ్లీష్ ఓకే ఓకే సో దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ దే సెడ్ వింధ్య నేనేం చెప్పను ఎప్పుడు పాపం వాళ్ళ నాన్నమ్మ తాత వాళ్ళకి ఇంగ్లీష్ రాదు సో ఐ జస్ట్ షేర్ యూ వాట్ దే సెడ్ టు మీ ఓకే సో వింధ్య నేనేం చెప్పను రోజంతా ఇలా కూర్చొని ఉంటాడు ఏం చేయమన్నా చేయడు ఇంత తిండి పెడితే తింటూ ఉంటాడు రాత్రి ఎప్పుడో పడుకుంటాడు నిద్ర రాదుంటాడు పొద్దున పడుకుంటే గురకలు పెట్టుకుంటూ పడుకుంటాడు అండ్ ఇంకా కొంచెం వెళ్ళరా కొంచెం వెళ్ళి జిమ్ చేయరా కొంచెం నడవరా అంటే అసలు ఎనర్జీ లేదంటాడు సో ఐ ఫెల్ట్ సో సాడ్ ఆఫ్టర్ లిస్నింగ్ టు దిస్ Okay. So, what happened is that grandparents were complaining about the kid, my cousin, that he has no energy. He's feeling lazy all the time. He just sits, eats and eats. He does not get sleep at night. He's not able to sleep. When asked to go to gym or do some exercise, he does not have that energy. And they were blaming him. I was feeling very sad. I was feeling so sad about it. But did you observe the keywords that were used to describe him? Less on energy, taking it easy, snoring, lazy, insomnia, binge eating. So all these complaints that were coming from his parents and grandparents and the guilt that the kid was feeling, my cousin was feeling, it was not controllable. He was not doing it by choice. It was all going autopilot. He was not able to handle it. And I could see that he was feeling inferior. He was feeling very helpless. And all these are nothing but symptoms and indicators of a hormonal disorder. The complaints and the guilt he was feeling, those were the hormones speaking, not him. And do you think carrying that extra weight is easy? Having that all the thoughts, all the taunts people have been saying it to him, carrying that extra weight on his body, is it easy to put on a brave face every day and go out? Because he has done his BTech from a very good university. So he does not need to hear all this. He needs to know what the reason is. And those are obesity. We are going to discuss polycystic syndrome and type 2 diabetes. All are hormonal disorders. I would request you all to listen with empathy, listen with kindness, because it might help you. It might help your parents, your sister, or your loved ones. Everything that we are going to discuss today, it's going to be useful in your real life to have that empathy and listen with kindness. And expect the same from us. At the end of the session, we'll have a Q&A. This is a safe space. You can ask any question that you have, your personal questions regarding your journey of trying to lose weight or any of these hormonal conditions. Hello everyone, my name is Vindhya. 4 years back, I was in your place. I'm a 2019 alumna. Currently, I'm pursuing MBA from Cornell University. That's one of the Ivy League universities in the world. And I'm a wellness coach by passion. I want to explain people that they already know. They need to understand why these conditions happen. And that's Nikita Bapatla, that's my sister. She's pursuing horticulture and she is doing data science from IIT Chennai, and she is also wellness coach by passion. Here I invited our senior wellness coaches, Naresh Garu and Dr. Anusha. They are passionately helping people to resolve these conditions. And he is our mentor. Thank you, sir. Immense gratitude for coming today. He started it all. He started the community WOW. So he is Mr. Raja Naren Tirumala. About our community, we are a group of certified nutritionists, doctors, dietitians, and wellness coaches who are helping people understand the conditions that they have, and we are spreading the knowledge so that they can reverse those conditions. Today's roadmap. So we'll first start with what is it? What is the condition? What is the scenario in India? And what these conditions actually are. Then we are going to discuss why are these happening, the root cause. And then we are going to discuss the solutions, how we are going to tackle these conditions. Now, seeing at these stats, 1 out of every 4 person in India is obese. Obesity is co-linked with other comorbidities like diabetes, type 2 diabetes, PCOS, thyroid, all are hormonal disorders. And in India, obesity is risking the risk of deadly heart attacks. Heart attack kills 1 person in every 33 seconds in India. That is the reality. That is what is happening in the world. If you switch on the news, you will see a noted person who was very good yesterday, today he is no more because of heart attack. And you know, our angel investor, very good, successful business person, Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, he has, of course, invested in a lot of wealth. He has, when he was alive, he has invested in a lot of businesses. But the one thing he regretted to invest was in his health. He was obese. So, as you all checked in into the group, answer this question to me. Is it true or false? Oh wow, I have a well-aware crowd already. Good. Now we are going to touch base on obesity. It's a very subjective topic, chala deep topic adi. But we are going to touch base on it. How you can see that you're obese. First is check your body mass index. Open your mobile apps, check BMI and check your BMI. Is it following in a successful good range or not? Second is measuring your waistline. That is the visceral fat that you have. In men, if your waist size is greater than 40 inches, you have a visceral fat and obesity. And in women, generally, if it's more than 35 inches, you have visceral fat. Now, I'll give you just 20 seconds. Just calculate your BMI and see if it is falling in this range. You can see this chart. There's a height versus ideal weight chart. You can just compare and analyze on your own. Now moving on to the next hormonal disorder, PCOS. How many of you truly understand PCOS? You can show by raise of hands also. Okay. In this huge crowd, I only see one lady who knows about it. So this is what we are trying to do today. We are going to explain you what PCOS is, and it is a girl's syndrome, but men too need to know it because their sister, their mother or their loved one might be suffering from it, and they might not feel comfortable to share it with you because you don't know anything about it. Looking at the stats, 65% of the women don't know what PCOS is and its symptoms are. 35% of women are not so confident sharing about it to anyone. And more than 60% men don't know about it. So you can understand the pain that the girls go through their daily lives, their hormonal fluctuations, everything. And on top of that, the unawareness that people are having about it. So I'll share a small video for you all to understand what PCOS is in general way.
Polycystic ovarian syndrome. This complex hormonal disorder affects 1 in 10 women worldwide and 1 in 5 women in India. Few people are talking about it, and the disorder is widely misunderstood. But don't get your knickers in a bunch if you've never heard of it. We're here to SOS your PCOS. What's that now? In case you're confusing PCOS with PCOD, polycystic ovarian disorder, don't worry. PCOD is just the older term for what doctors now call polycystic ovarian syndrome. Women with PCOS may have menstrual irregularities or excess male hormone or androgen levels. The ovaries may also develop numerous small collections of fluid and fail to regularly release eggs. What causes it? While the exact cause of PCOS is not known, there are a few factors that could play a role. Excess androgen. If your ovaries produce abnormally high levels of the male hormone androgen, you're at great risk of developing PCOS. This could be aggravated by insulin resistance or low-grade inflammation. Genetics. Basically, if you have a close relative with a disorder, chances are you could develop it too. What happens to my body? PCOS manifests differently in different women. You may have scanty periods, excessive bleeding, or missed periods. Apart from this, women also experience acne, weight gain, facial hair growth, dark patches, hair loss, and in serious cases, the inability to conceive. If the imbalance gets worse, you could be at risk of obesity, infertility, type 2 diabetes, gestational diabetes, or even heart disease. Okay, now pause this video and go give your friends with PCOS a jadoo ki chappi. What happens to my mind? First, there's the stress of coping with all these things happening inside your body. Add on to it the fact that PCOS makes you vulnerable to depression, anxiety, and eating disorders. It doesn't end there. Trying to live up to society's standards for a woman while battling a disease that gives you all the symptoms that contradict those expectations, none of which is your fault, can seriously mess with your head. How do I treat it? If you've noticed any of these symptoms, it's best you go see a gynac. No, Google does not count because every case of PCOS is unique to your body and lifestyle, like a hormonal snowflake. Overall, incorporating healthy eating and regular exercise have been shown to help. And stress-relieving activities like exercise, meditation, and yoga help combat the mental toll it takes. So ladies, if you're feeling wrecked, it's time to go get checked. The thing to remember though, if you have PCOS, is that you're not alone. There's a whole community of women out here to support you. PCOS may not be your friend, but we are.
So yeah, I guess I'm audible till the end. Can you all hear me? Yeah. So I guess you all got a general idea of what PCOS is. So let me expand that. Polycystic ovarian syndrome. You all can hear it. It's a safe space. You should all know it because it's important for everyone to understand the problems that we are facing day by day. So PCOS, if I explain it since the beginning, when a female is born, in her reproductive system, there are ovaries. You can see that. I guess we all have read in our 10th class. So in that ovaries, follicles develop. What are follicles? Again, let me correlate with a simple idea. You all have seen eggs, right? The normal eggs we consume. I can't hear you. So let me correlate with that. The white part of that egg, you can say it's follicle. It encloses that yellow yolk, right? So follicle is the white part in that egg, and the central portion, the yellow part, is the ova or egg in our females. So these follicles at the time of birth are at about 20 lakhs. There are millions of these follicles developed in our ovaries. But as the age passes till the puberty, these follicles get reduced to 4 lakhs. Just the 4 lakhs follicles we get to see in puberty. This much reduction happens through the age, like 9, 10, 11, all these things. After that, what happens is that after every menstrual cycle, new follicles or the 100 follicles we see come out and they get matured. Not all follicles get matured into eggs, but only one egg gets matured out of that follicle. When it comes out, the other follicles that were there, the hundreds of follicles, they get degenerated in normal, healthy human female. But in the case of PCOS suffering women, what happens is that those follicles which were getting matured, these follicles do not get matured and they get retained in the ovaries itself. You can see in the scan, in a normal female, there are 2 to 3 ovaries in the scan. But in polycystic ovary, we can see many cysts that are formed. So these are fluid-filled pouches that are retained in the ovary. So ovulation doesn't happen in this time. With these fluid-filled pouches, androgens get developed. What are androgens again? These are male hormones. With this, we get to see many symptoms. Since we are saying it's a syndrome, that means it's not only one symptom that comes up, there are hundreds of symptoms that we get to see in a PCOS woman. So let's see what are the symptoms. As you can see, in recent times, if a female experiences excessive hair loss, they might think that it's because of the shampoo or the water change. All these things they might think, but they don't know that it's a major indicator of PCOS. And also hirsutism. That's actually the facial hair growth we get to see, be it upper lip or chin. These are symptoms that are developed due to the androgen levels that increase during PCOS. So that's another symptom. High testosterone levels we get to see in this condition. And also pelvic pain. We get to hear, right? Menstrual cramps, all these things. I have to take 3 days leave because I cannot tolerate that pain. That is not actually normal. This is a major indicator for PCOS. In a healthy, normal female, there are no such pains or cramps. You don't have to take a pill in those days. So it's not normal. Please note that if you are experiencing it, you should get tested with it. And again, irregular periods. See, we think that 2 months, 3 months, if you don't get, that's actually irregular. But no, it's not irregular. Even if you experience 2 to 3 days gap in that 28-day cycle, that is also considered irregular in case of PCOS girls. So also fatigue and acne are also some of the indicators that you might have PCOS in you. So what are the reasons? What do we see? Being in a common PCOS women who are suffering, usually we get to see that they are overweight. That's the most common thing we can see. But it's not only overweight, even underweight females get to experience this. So you should make a note of it that if you are facing any of the symptoms, it's best that you get tested with it. The next one is hypothyroidism and hypothyroidism. These two are also interconnected. This is also one of the hormonal disorder. This also triggers PCOS. And also gut, stress, and sleep. Stress is again, in females, if we get to see stress, it leads to many complications. The cortisol that gets increased in our bodies, that's the stress hormone. It triggers PCOS like anything. So I want to say that please manage your stress levels at peak. And also lack of nutrition and insulin resistance also cause PCOS. Insulin resistance actually again increases the androgen levels in the body, so that these fluctuations, these disbalances occur. So yeah, if you're facing any of these, please get a note of it. So again, trivia time. Grab your phones. Please tell me this answer. We are second to China, but not in something we should be proud of. Any guesses, please? Okay, population. Any more guesses? Diabetes? Yeah. Yes. So yeah, this thing is actually the hormonal disorder we are going to discuss now. We are not second in population, we are actually first. That's the thing. And the actual question was about this. We are second to China for diabetes. This is a diabetes alert. Ippudu, I just want to make you feel relaxed. If I say that పప్పులో ఉప్పు కారం ఉందంటే, is it common? అడుగుతామా లేదా? If it's tasteless, do we ask? Do you have salt and pepper in it? We do ask, right? I'm not able to hear anyone. Yes. So in that same way, we get to see that these two combinations, diabetes and BP, these are common in every family. Just like in a curry, salt and pepper is common, In the same way, we get to see a sugar patient is common in every family. In every nook and corner of our country, we get to see one third of the population is suffering from diabetes. So, and also, I just want you all to know that this is not only an age-related disorder. This is also related to us, our youngsters, because in our grandparents' generation, we get to see these disorders developing in their 60s and 70s. You all must have heard about, right? 60s వచ్చిన తర్వాత మా తాతకి వచ్చింది sugar, 70 వచ్చిన తర్వాత వచ్చింది. Do you say? So in the same way, మన parent generation వచ్చేసిన తర్వాత, they started developing at 40s itself. And when it comes to our generation, we are actually experiencing it to start from our 20s. So the disorders వచ్చే అనే thing అనేది it's getting back. Every age group లో we are seeing this because it's so prevalent and these days. And also I would like to note this thing. You all in this seminar hall might not know if you are suffering from pre-diabetic condition. How many of you know pre-diabetes? Pre-diabetes ante evarkaina telusa? No. Pre-diabetes is a condition that comes before we get tested as diabetes. This condition, this pre-diabetes anedi kuda it's getting widened day by day. And after COVID, we are seeing it to increase like hell. Multifolds ka we are seeing it increase. Pre-diabetes and diabetes aina. So your parents, your grandparents, along with them, it's must that you also listen to it. So in an overview, you all must be knowing it. We have type 1, type 2 and gestational diabetes. But in prevalence, if we see, type 1 అనేది 10% ఉంటుంది usual cases లో. Type 2 అనేది 90% we get to see, and gestational happens in the gestation period. Pregnancy వచ్చిన దానప్పుడు చూస్తాం. So starting with the gestational diabetes, this diabetes is actually type 2 diabetes. 60% of the cases we get to see that they are type 2 diabetes only. This is actually preventable, and also it can be cured after the gestation has completed. And type 1 diabetes, if we see, it's an autoimmune condition. Autoimmune ante it's genetic. It cannot be reversed. మనం వింటూ ఉంటాం కదా ఇన్సులిన్ ఇంజెక్షన్స్ తీసుకుంటారు చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి చాలా యంగ్ ఏజ్ నుంచి. సో దాట్ ఈస్ ద టైప్ 1 డయాబెటీస్. అది ఆటో ఇమ్యూన్ కండిషన్. అండ్ ఇన్ దిస్ థింగ్ వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్ ఇస్ దట్ మన ప్యాంక్రియాస్ అనే ఆర్గన్ ఉంటుంది కదా, యూ ఆల్మోస్ట్ వచ్చింది అంటే వీ గెట్ టు హియర్ దట్ దిస్ ఇస్ టైప్ 2 డయాబెటీస్. అండ్ ఈ టైప్ 2 డయాబెటీస్ అనేది ప్యాంక్రియాస్ లో ఇన్సులిన్ ప్రొడక్షన్ అనేది ఇట్స్ దేర్, బట్ ద ఎఫిషియన్సీ is not. That is due to the lifestyle problems we are facing, the sedentary lifestyle that we are having. It develops due to this, and this lifestyle disorder is preventable, yes, and also it is curable with some changes that we are going to discuss today. So yeah, ఇప్పుడు మీరు overview చూసారు కాబట్టి you can see diabetes symptoms. Even if you are having pre-diabetes, you can see మనకి ఈ సిమ్టమ్స్ అనేది వి గెట్ టు హియర్ ఫ్రమ్ అవర్ అమ్మమ్మలు తాతలు. తిమ్మిర్లు ఎక్కుతున్నాయి, ఫ్లేమ్ చాలా మంటలు పుడుతున్నాయి చేతులు కాళ్ళకి, ఇవన్నీ వి గెట్ టు హియర్, రైట్? అండ్ ఆల్సో యూరినేషన్, ఫ్రీక్వెంట్ ఆఫన్ యూరినేషన్ అనేది వీ కెన్ సీ, ఇంక్రీజ్ థర్స్ట్, అండ్ ఇఫ్ వూండ్ వస్తే ఇట్ డజంట్ గెట్ హీల్డ్ దాట్ ఈజీలీ. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద సిమ్టమ్స్ ఆఫ్ డయాబెటీస్. ఇప్పుడు యూ గాట్ ఎన్ ఐడియా ఆఫ్ వాట్ ఒబేసిటీ, what PCOS and what diabetes is on. Didn't you get? You got, right? At least the idea of the statistics and everything. So we have covered the what part of it. What is the significance? Ippudaku manam chesindi enti anedi, ippudaku manam chusindi enti anedi. So to discuss the why part of it, I would like to help me welcome my senior wellness coach Alluru Naresh to explain why these disorders actually come.
And mic okay. So once again, a very good morning to all of you. I said good morning. इतना सीरियस होने की जरूरत नहीं है इదంతా yeah I can because I'm from I did my BTech from Amity University. I'm an alumni from there, so I can speak little bit of Hindi also. So इतना सीरियस होने की जरूरत नहीं है. कभी कभार मेरे मुंह से तेलुगु भी निकल आता है जैसे मेरे पेट के जैसा बिफोर, तो एक्सक्यूज मी फॉर दैट. So let me introduce myself. I am Naresh. I'm a senior wellness coach working for a government organization. By passion, I turned into a wellness coach. Let me tell you the reason why. I was very ambitious. When I was a student, I was very ambitious and I launched my own venture at the age of 18 in my teenage. In that ambition, I forgot about my lifestyle and eating habits. We learned about the macro and micronutrition in schools, definitely yes. But we ignore that big time. We focus on our career so much, we become busy so much so that we forget about ourselves. The most important person in our life is us. You are the most important person in your life. So I forgot about myself, so that I put on almost 20 to 30 kgs of weight in the span of just 2 to 3 years. Lot of teenagers, lot of youngsters are facing the same problem. Do you agree with me? But unfortunately, we don't consider weight as a problem. Today, let me define. Obesity is not what we look from the outside. Obesity is what actually we look from the inside. So, we are not here to అంటే మిమ్మల్ని భయపెట్టడానికి ఇక్కడికి రాలేదు. So, we are not here to make you fearful. We are here to make you confident about yourself. Just like how I am speaking right now. Okay, so this is my transformation. I tried different methods. I used to have lot of insecurities inside of me. When I was 22, 23, I used to feel ashamed to stand with guys along my age. వాళ్ళ పక్కన నిలబడితే I used to feel insecure about myself. In business, we have to talk to a lot of people, belly to belly. We have to do a lot of belly to belly conversations. I used to feel ashamed of myself. I used to feel so, with low self-esteem. I could not be able to present my product or service to any of my clients so confidently. So obviously, without confidence and without this, you cannot excel in life. Do you agree with me? For achieving anything in life, you need some confidence, right? So I can see that you feel little confident now. So give a big round of applause for yourself for participating. I said for yourself, not for me. For yourself, for sitting in this hall. Okay, thank you so much. So I tried different methods. Like I understood that it's not how I should be. ఈ ఏజ్ లో అట్లా ఉండడం కరెక్ట్ కాదు. సో ఐ నీడ్ టు ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్. If I have to achieve big things in life, if I have to provide something to my lifestyle to my family and kids, then I have to be a role model. Honestly, how many of you take your family or your father or your grandfather as a role model in terms of your health? Not so many. Because the habits they taught, అంటే లిటరల్ గా చెప్పాలి అంటే వాళ్ళ ఏజ్ కి at their age, the food they used to eat or the habits they used to follow suits their lifestyle. But today's lifestyle is a transformed lifestyle, right? So I tried different methods. I went on YouTube and tried. If someone says intermittent fasting works, I tried it, but on my own. Okay, if someone says you have to starve yourself to lose weight, I used to do starving also for at least 1 week or 10 days. I could not stick to it for so long. I tried so many things. If someone said you can lose this many kgs, you have to do this, I tried to do it, but I could not stick to one thing for so long because it was not resonating with my thought process. Something was missing. This is not the way how people transform. But I used to see a lot of case studies from this community. They're putting out like 130 kgs, they're coming to 80 kgs, 70 kgs in just 6 months, 8 months. How is it even possible? Then I approached this community and they understood the root cause. See, I tried to reduce my belly, by eating something or by starving myself without understanding the root cause, what actually is going on inside of my body. I tried different methods, but I could not reduce it. But after understanding the root cause, you can see my blood work here. This is HbA1c. This is the average blood glucose you supply to your blood cell from last 3 months. It was 5.9. That means I was a pre-diabetic. At that point, I was suffering with insulin resistance. This is the root cause. This community made me understood that, and I started working on my root cause. Okay, I directed my efforts towards the root cause. You can see my blood work. After blood work, it is 5.6. It is in the non-diabetic range. This report is very recent one. It's in the June month, and this is 2022 Jan month. How this transformation is possible? Why did I transform? First of all, why did I transform so rapidly? I tried 4, 5, 6, 7 years to reduce my weight. I didn't do that. But within just 90 days, how was it possible? There are some things beyond calculations, beyond calories, and beyond everything. That is hormonal response. Right? Let's understand today. The root causes insulin resistance. All the disorders you see, heart attacks, cancer, stroke, PCOD, diabetes, hypertension, all these are the tip of the iceberg. But the foundation is the insulin resistance. Guys, if at all you need to learn something about health industry in this 21st century, that is insulin resistance. Have you ever saw a diabetic taking so many medications and reverse diabetes? Have you ever heard something like that? Not even remote. Have you ever heard that a person suffering with thyroid consumed lot of tablets and reversed her thyroid condition? Never. Because the problem is not with the medication. The problem didn't occur with the drug. It occurred with the lifestyle choices we made. The eating patterns, the lifestyle patterns we made. So it is important to understand the root cause. Nowadays, the medical system is addressing only the symptoms. If you have headache, we will go to any medical store and we will ask them for Saridon. वो डॉली या डोलो क्या है वो डोलो yeah, it became the highest selling drug. Yeah, so Dolo, Dolly, let's name it Dolly. Dolly became the highest selling drug in COVID because people ऐसे खा रहे कि पेपरमिंट के जैसा खा रहे डोलो को. फीवर आया डोलो, हेडेक आया डोलो, माइग्रेन आया डोलो, कुछ भी आया डॉली. अब से डॉली ले लो, हो गया, ऐसा हो गया. ठीक है, so we need to really work on this insulin resistance, guys. Insulin resistance. So let me tell you, see, before 50-60 years from now, people used to die because of physical injuries and accidents. At that point of time, if we see a diabetic, it was like, oh, he got diabetes. We will be shocked to listen that. But nowadays, जैसे अभी निकिता ने बोला, like it is like दाल चावल में जितना नमक और ये पेपर ఏం చెప్తారు నాకు తెలియదు, అవి ఏంటంటే काला मिर्च या काला मिर्च जितना कॉमन हो गया, ये डायबिटीज भी उतना ही कॉमन हो गया है. तो we need to really work on this, and there is a research made all over the world. Nowadays, people are majorly dying because of the lifestyle disorders, heart attacks. We listen to this news very frequently. अरे वो सुबह तक तो ठीक था यार, नाश्ता भी अच्छे से किया, लेकिन सडनली कोलैप्स हो गया है, सडनली ये हो गया, सडनली लीवर कोलैप्स हो गया, बिकॉज this insulin resistance. So what is this insulin resistance? So why insulin resistance will occur? Just look, these are the habits. If you have any one habit predominant in your lifestyle, then there is a 95% chance of getting insulin resistance. 95%. Poor diet, lack of exercise, stress, poor sleep, alcohol, smoking. Just rate yourself. Just number पुकारो, 1 2 3 कितना नंबर है? 22 नहीं है इसमें, 22 नंबर ले असल. ओके, ओ बॉयस अन्नारा, बॉयस नंबर अन्नारा 5 के 5. So give a big round for that 5 out of 5 guy, because he is excellent, awesome. And let us talk what is actually this insulin resistance. If you observe the food plates we eat, food plates, like it consists of 90% of carbohydrates, or simply to say, in South India lo aithe annam lendi plate jaragadu, and North India lo aithe without roti ke bina khana pura nahi hai, ఇట్లుంటది. సही है ना? సో యా రైట్. సో ఎప్పుడైతే మనం అంటే when we eat refined carbohydrates, when our blood is flushed with carbohydrates, carbohydrate will be turned into starch. Glucose is nothing but a chain of sugars. So just like a fan switch, if we switch on the fan will be automatic. It will be on automatically. In the same way, when we give our body carbohydrates or glucose, this insulin hormone will come automatically. Just like your response when I say a good joke or something. So it will come automatically. Okay? ఇప్పుడు మీరు వాట్ ఎవర్ ఐఎమ్ టెలింగ్ యూ ఆర్ లిసనింగ్ టు మీ. ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇది అయిపోయిన తర్వాత లేసి వెళ్ళిపోతారు. నేను చెప్తుంటే కొంతమంది నవ్వుకుంటూ మాట్లాడుకుంటున్నారు. ఓకే, దట్స్ ఇప్పుడు దానికి అంత ఎనర్జీ కావాలి. యూ నీడ్ సమ్ ఎనర్జీ. ఆ ఎనర్జీ ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుంది అంటే, ఎప్పుడైతే మనం గ్లూకోజ్ బాడీకి ఇస్తామో, జస్ట్ ఇమాజిన్ దట్ రౌండ్ షేప్ ఈస్ అవర్ బ్లడ్ సెల్. ఓకే, దట్ రెడ్ డాట్స్ ఆర్ ద గ్లూకోజ్. whenever we give glucose, insulin will be spiked automatically. In presence of this insulin, through the insulin receptor, that glucose will be converted into energy. Two types. It will be converted into two types. This is very, very, very important. The next pictures I'm going to show you will blow off your mind. Trust me, because it did with me. This glucose will be stored in our body in two types. One is the glycogen reserve for immediate energy. And the other one is fat, in the form of fat. This fat is for emergency usage. Like if you are not getting food for 2-3 days, our body will become deprived. Then it needs some energy. So it reserves fat as the energy. But we never allow our body to use fat as the energy. Because మనం తినే డైలీ ఫుడ్స్ లో చూడండి, జిట్నా भी हम फूड खाते हैं, like chips, मैगी या तो समोसे, whatever. Being a student, I used to eat a lot. So avanni kuda those are refined carbohydrates that will spike insulin. I ask this question to so many of my clients and so many people. So how many times do you eat in a day? The politically correct answer is 3 times in a day. That is breakfast, lunch, dinner. What about the snack we have when we go to a canteen, or when someone offer prasadam iskochi tirupatiki poyochnam prasadam istar, we eat it and atla chaala sarlu tintam, almost 6-7 times in a day. When we eat, see, the problem here is not eating 6 many times. The problem here is, what do we eat for 6-7 times? Be watchful about what you are eating for 6-7 times, because if your food contains lightest amount of carbohydrate, it will spike insulin. Insulin is going to store the fat. Whenever insulin is triggered, it is going to store the fat. It will never allow you to burn the fat. కొంతమందిని చూస్తే జాలేస్తుంది నాకు. అంటే పీపుల్ హూ ఆర్ ఏజ్డ్ బిట్వీన్ 30 to 50, వాళ్ళని చూడండి, అన్ని తింటారు నార్మల్ గా. ఫిజికల్ యాక్టివిటీ చాలా ఎక్కువ. ఎస్పెషల్లీ దిస్ ఇస్ ద కేస్ విత్ అవర్ మదర్స్. చాలా the most hard working people in our home is our mother. Do you deny this fact? No, it is the fact. But they started accepting obesity as if it is okay to be obese, because here we are working in the wrong direction, guys. If we switch the direction, trust me, you can make your family healthy. You can revolutionize your family's health. Trust me on this. Okay, so if we trigger insulin this many times, ఏం జరిగింది చెప్పడం మర్చిపోయినా కదా. ఎందుకు వాళ్ళు అట్లా ఒబేస్ అవుతున్నారు అంటే, తింటారు, అంతా పని చేస్తారు. దే విల్ డూ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్సర్సైజ్. అంటే ఎక్సర్సైజ్ కాదు, వాకింగ్ చేస్తారు, కిలోమీటర్లు పార్క్ లో చుట్టూ పొద్దున్న లేసి లాఫ్టర్ క్లబ్, యోగా, అది ఇది అన్ని చేస్తారు. బట్ దే సఫర్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్స్. బికాస్ ఏం చేస్తారు, అన్ని అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఇంటికి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత నీట్ గా ప్లేట్ పెట్టుకొని उसमें दाल रोटी फिर से మళ్ళీ చావల్ లేని ఇక్కడ సౌత్ ఇండియాలో ముద్ద దిగదు. అన్ని నీట్ గా పేర్చుకున్న దాంట్లో 90% మళ్ళీ కార్బోహైడ్రేట్స్ ఇస్తారు. విత్ దిస్ వీఆర్ నెవర్ ఎవర్ గోయింగ్ టు అడ్రస్ ద రూట్ కాస్. సో ఇక్కడ జరిగినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే వెన్ వి స్పైక్ ఇన్సులిన్ టూ మెనీ టైమ్స్ ఇన్ ఎ డే, యాక్చువల్లీ దెర్ ఈస్ అ మెకానిజం వేర్ మనకి బ్లడ్ సెల్ లోకి గ్లూకోజ్ వెళ్ళిపోయిన తర్వాత our blood cell will send a signal to pancreas to stop producing insulin. Okay, if that switch is off, imagine అంటే మీకు ఎవరైనా మీకు నచ్చని పని ఒకసారి చేపిస్తున్నారు అనుకోండి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ ఐ అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్ కొంతమంది ఇక్కడ బలవంతం వచ్చి కూర్చొని ఉంటారు. ఇఫ్ ద సెమినార్ గోస్ ఆన్ ఫర్ నెక్స్ట్ 1 day, టాలరేషన్ లెవెల్స్ అనేవి అట్లనే కంటిన్యూస్ గా ఒక వారం ఈ డోర్స్ అన్ని లాక్ చేసి ఐ వాంట్ యూ టు సిట్ హియర్ అని చెప్తే రెబెలియన్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. తొక్కి అట్నే ఈ బయట పడేసి వెళ్ళిపోతారు. ద సేమ్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఇన్ యువర్ బాడీ గైస్, బికాస్ జస్ట్ అండర్స్టాండ్, మీరు ఒక టూర్ కి వెళ్తున్నారు అనుకోండి, యూ హ్యావ్ టు ప్యాక్ అ సూట్ కేస్, ఇట్ కెన్ అకామిడేట్ 10 pairs of dresses. Instead of that, you're giving it 100 pairs of dresses each and every day. సూట్ కేస్ పరిస్థితి ఏమైతుంది, పగిలిపోతుంది. బట్ అవర్ బాడీ ఈజ్ స్టిల్, దాన్ని ఏమంటారు, రైట్ వర్డ్, సపోర్టింగ్ యూ. బీ థ్యాంక్ఫుల్ టు యువర్ బాడీ, be thankful. And there is one point called point of no return, that I'll talk about it. అట్లా ఇట్లా ఒక రోజు తింటే ఏం కాదు. If you eat it for 1 day or 1 month or a week or 2 years also, it is not going to be a problem. But if this continues for a period of a decade or so, literally you're abusing your body, you're not listening to your body. అప్పుడే ఏమవుతుందంటే ఈ ఒబెసిటీ రావడం, ఆల్ ద డిసార్డర్స్. ఇందాక చెప్పారు కదా ఇన్సులిన్, దిస్ ఈస్ ద రూట్ కాజ్ గైస్. ఇక్కడ ఏమైపోతుందంటే స్విచ్ ఆఫ్ అయిపోతుంది. ఎప్పుడైతే గ్లూకోజ్ బ్లడ్ సెల్ లోకి వెళ్ళాలో, ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుందంటే ఇన్స్పైట్ ఆఫ్ హ్యావింగ్ టూ మచ్ ఇన్సులిన్, ఆర్ బ్లడ్ సెల్ లూజెస్ ద ఇన్సులిన్ సెన్సిటివిటీ, ఇట్ వోంట్ అలౌ ద గ్లూకోజ్ ఎనీ మోర్. సో ఇక్కడ ఏమైపోతుందంటే స్విచ్ సిగ్నల్ వెళ్ళదు కదా. If I'm talking to you, you're not listening to me, you literally face me off, then I will try to talk little louder, ఇంకా వినట్లేదు, you're not listening to me, I'll try to talk little more louder. The same goes with our pancreas also. Or I'm producing enough insulin, but still the sugar level is not going down, so maybe this is not enough, I should try to produce more. ఇట్లా నెక్స్ట్ 10 years లో ఎంతైతే ఇన్సులిన్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేయాలో బాడీలో 2-3 years లో ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేసి వస్తుంది. See, I'll show you the symptoms. Check whether you have insulin resistance. If you're tired all the time, if you have that black marks around the neck, నాకేం చెప్తుండే అంటే మట్టి పేరకపోతుంది, తెచ్చేది రుద్దుకోమని చెప్తుండే. I used to rub very very harder, but I never used to get rid of it. But that is not the problem, that is not a cosmetic problem, that is the problem of inside. Okay, and brain fog undadam and sweet cravings all the time, this is not by luck, this is not happening by itself. Our hormones are indicating something from inside. If you are not listening to it, it is going to cause a havoc. You will live very shorter and you will die longer, remember this. And skin tags on your neck, these are the symptoms of insulin resistance. If you have these symptoms, it's time to reset your body. So this is how obesity looks from the inside. See, if you can see the yellow layer around our body, that is the fat. There is no problem with the outer layer. If you do exercise or if you eat less, 4 చపాతీల ప్లేస్ లో 2 తింటా. నేను కొంతమంది క్లయింట్స్ తో అంత సైన్స్ అంతా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసిన తర్వాత అరే గుండె కూడా చూపిస్తున్నాం, వీఆర్ లిటరలీ షోయింగ్ యువర్ హార్ట్ ఆల్సో, బట్ స్టిల్ దే విల్ టెల్ మీ 2 ఇడ్లీలు తింటా, 4 ఇడ్లీలు తింటా. బస్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఈస్ నాట్ ద ఇడ్లీ చపాతీ ఆర్ ద ఊతప్పం యూ ఈట్ హియర్. ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఈస్ ద ఎనర్జీ స్టోర్డ్ ఇన్ యువర్ బాడీ ఆల్రెడీ. See, there is no problem with the outer layer of it, but the problem is with the inner layer of it. Just see the stress around the gut. Our organs supposed to be free. They are like, మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది కదా, అవి ఫ్రీగా ఉండాలి. యాక్చువల్ గా ఒక్కొక్క దానికి గ్యాప్ ఉండాలి. but it is filled with the fat inside. అండ్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద అంటే చాలా మిత్ ఉండేది ఏంటి, పెద్ద మిత్ ఉండేది ఏంటి అంటే ఓన్లీ obese people will have fat. I'm fat because I'm obese. I have fat inside. No, the case is also reverse. I'll show you how thin people are not even అంటే ఎవరు దీనికి అందరు సమానమే. ఇప్పుడు ఇవి ఉంటాయి కదా, ఈ టెంపర్ మూవీలో ఒక డైలాగ్ ఉంటుంది కదా, దీనికి క్లారిటీ ఎక్కువ మూర్తి వస్తే లేపుకొని పోతుంది అని చెప్పి. దిస్ ఆల్సో విల్ హ్యావ్ ద సేమ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ క్లారిటీ. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ దిస్ విజరల్ ఫ్యాట్ ఇన్సైడ్ యూ, ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు లిఫ్ట్ యూ అప్. నీకు తెలియదు, అది క్రిస్మస్ అయినా బర్త్డే అయినా ఏ రోజైనా లేపుకపోతుంది. అండ్ దిస్ ఈస్ పెయిన్ఫుల్. వాట్ ఎవర్ ఐమ్ ట్రైంగ్ టు టెల్ యూ ఇస్ పెయిన్ఫుల్. నేను కొంచెం జోవియల్ గా చెప్పడానికి ట్రై చేస్తున్నాను, కానీ జస్ట్ ఇమాజిన్ a family who lost the head of the family, a son who loses a father, a family who loses a mother, a family who loses a kid. Just try to understand. So this is the x-ray, this is how the fat looks from inside. Just look at the colon, just look at the in the pratidi. If there is more sugar in your body, this is because of too much insulin in the body. The only reason is having too much insulin in the body. So how we are going? Yeah, fat people only will have fat. No, thin people will also have this visceral fat, and this is how a fatty heart look like. నేను ఈ ఫ్యాక్ట్ విన్న తర్వాత నేను షాక్ అయిపోయాను అనమాట. ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ 1 kg బాడీ వెయిట్ ఎక్స్ట్రా యూ క్యారీ, your blood, your body has, your heart has to pump 10 liters of blood extra. అప్పుడు ముసల్గా అయిపోతాం కదా తొందరగా. అంటే 10 సంవత్సరాల్లో చేయాల్సిన పనిని 1 or 2 years లో చేస్తే we will become old. Same way with our organs. So this is how the brain looks like. This is the CT scan of the brain. This is how your kidneys look like when you have fat. So obesity is not the matter of looking ugly from the outside. It is about this. And yeah, as I told you, how we are going to address this root cause. Okay, Naresh? లిటరలీ చూసిన తర్వాత నాకు డెప్త్ లేచిపోయింది అనమాట. లిటరల్ గా చెప్తున్నా, దిస్ పిక్చర్స్ ఓపెన్ మై మైండ్. ఓకే, హౌ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు అడ్రస్ ద రూట్ కాజ్? యాజ్ ఐ టోల్డ్ యూ అర్లియర్, దెర్ ఈస్ సంథింగ్ కాల్డ్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ నో రిటర్న్. అంటే ఇఫ్ యూ టేక్ ఎ రన్వే, ఎ ఫ్లైట్ విల్ హ్యావ్ అట్లీస్ట్ 5-10 kilometers of road to get that momentum before it takes off. But when it reaches a certain point, there is no other option other than taking off. That's it. Same goes with your body. There is a certain point where you can return, you can reverse all the disorders. Trust me, you can reverse all the disorders. But once you touch that point, there is no point in coming back. There is no point of coming back. Okay, that is called insulin resistance. I recommend everyone to do your blood work and check me lipid profile. There will be values called triglyceride and HDL. It should be less than 2 or less than 1.5. According to what we deal, it should be less than 1.5. It is, the more the number, the more danger you are into. Anything might happen in next 3 months. ఇది నేను మాట్లాడకూడదు, బట్ దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఫ్యాక్ట్. ఇది నేనే చెప్పాలి. చెప్పిన క్లారిటీ ఎక్కువ తీసుకెళ్ళిపోతుంది అది. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్, సో యా,
what is the most important weapon you have for your weight loss? Now, a lot of you will think it is willpower, motivation, things like that. No, the most important thing is your hormonal stability. Now, a lot of you will think that I will stop eating junk food for next 3 days, or I will do this or that for the next 5 days. It is not that simple. The body is addicted on a hormonal basis. There's already a response created in your body in anticipation of these foods. మనం అలాంటి ఫుడ్స్ తినే థాట్ వస్తేనే మన బాడీలో హార్మోన్స్ అనేది డిస్బ్యాలెన్స్ అయ్యే రెస్పాన్స్ జనరేట్ అయిపోతుంది అప్పటికి. నౌ యూ హ్యావ్ టు బి ఏబుల్ టు గో ఆఫ్ ఆన్ దోస్ ఫుడ్స్ అండ్ సెటిల్ యువర్ హార్మోన్స్ ఫస్ట్. సో సడన్లీ స్టాపింగ్ డూయింగ్ సంథింగ్ వోంట్ హెల్ప్. You need to be on a slightly low carb, good protein, good fat diet without depriving yourself of the nutrition. Once your hormones are under control and your vitamin B levels and other micronutrients are topped up, only then your body will be in a position to start losing weight, correct your hormonal disorders sustainably, and there won't be any rebound.
అర్థమైంది అనుకుంటా. సో హౌ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు రివర్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ delay your meal a little longer. I mean, instead of taking sugary breakfast in the morning, try to skip it. try to skip it and have a nutrient dense meal. As ఇందాక వింధ్య షేర్ చేసినట్టు న్యూట్రియంట్ డెన్స్ గా ఉండే మీల్ ని try to make it the first meal of the day. Do you think breakfast is the most important meal of the day is invented by our grandfathers? No, they never said that. Kellogg said that. Kellogg said breakfast is the most important meal of the day. ఎందుకంటే యువర్ బ్రెయిన్ నీడ్స్ సమ్ ఎనర్జీ. ఇందాక నేను చెప్తున్నది ఏంటంటే యువర్ బాడీ ఆల్రెడీ స్టోర్డ్ ఎంత ఎనర్జీ అంటే 1 fat calorie is equal to 9 calories of energy. If you calculate that, 1 kg body weight equals 9,000 calories of energy. If you have 10 kgs extra, that means you have approximately 1 lakh calories stored in your body. If you have 20 to 30 kgs extra, 30 to 40 kgs extra, you are carrying around 4 to 5 lakh calories energy in your body. అంటే మీకు అర్థమయ్యే భాషలో చెప్పాలి, సింపుల్ గా చెప్పాలి అంటే మీరు నెక్స్ట్ 2 to 3 years ఏమి తినకపోయినా సరే, ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ eat anything also, you can survive. అంత ఎనర్జీ మీ బాడీలో స్టోర్ అయింది. సో the only way to use that energy is నాట్ స్పైకింగ్ ద ఇన్సులిన్. అంటే గ్లైసెమిక్ ఇండెక్స్ ఎక్కువ ఉండే ఫుడ్స్ ని తగ్గించి ఫ్యాట్ అండ్ ప్రోటీన్ ని తీసుకో. ఇందాక వింధ్య చెప్పినట్టు అట్లా ఓన్లీ 2 meals in a day are more than enough. Because if we see our ancestors, they used to be hunter gatherers. అంటే they have to go hunt and get their food and they have to wait till they hunt the next one. అంతేగాని ఇప్పుడు మనకున్నట్టు కంఫర్టబుల్ గా క్యాంటీన్ లో ఫుడ్స్ లేకపోతే ఇంటికి వెళ్తే అమ్మ చేసి పెట్టే ఫుడ్స్ అవన్నీ ఉండవు యాక్చువల్లీ వాళ్ళకి. సో దే హ్యావ్ టు వెయిట్ టిల్ ద నెక్స్ట్ వన్. ఇన్ ద సేమ్ వే 2 meals ఆర్ ఇనఫ్ అండ్ దట్ టు న్యూట్రియంట్ డెన్స్ మీల్ తీసుకోండి. అండ్ ఇందాక చెప్పింది ఇదే అనమాట, హార్మోనల్ రెస్పాన్స్ అంటే ఇన్సులిన్ ని మినిమల్ గా ఎట్లా స్పైక్ చేసే ఫుడ్స్ ఉంటాయి అనేది మీరు యూ కెన్ సర్చ్ ఇట్. ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఈజ్ అవైలబుల్ ఆన్ internet and these are the foods that spike insulin too much. This also you can search over the internet and this is the science we follow. అంటే why నేను 4-5 years లో ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ అవ్వలేంది, just 90 days లో ఎట్లా పాసిబుల్ అయింది అంటే because of this science. Autophagy. What is this autophagy? For example, if you bought a house before 30-40 years, you use that house for different purposes. దాంట్లో పెళ్లిళ్ళు చేసి ఉంటాం, బర్త్డేలు చేసి ఉంటాం, అన్ని చేసి ఉంటాం, డెకేడ్స్ చూసి ఉంటుంది ఆ హౌస్. The electricity lines become weaker and the walls become weaker. ఏం చేస్తాం మనమే, we demolish that house and we redesign and reconstruct our own house, right? The same way అక్కడ హౌస్ ఏదో కాదు, it is our own body. When your body enters this autophagy, when you eat 2 meals in a day with 8 hours gap, only 8 hours, ఈ 8 hours or 2 meals in a day, దీన్ని 16 hours when you allow your body to rest with proper nutritional support and the food groups, అంటే ఇందాక మెన్షన్ చేసిన ఫుడ్ గ్రూప్స్ తీసుకుంటే your body will enter into autophagy where మీ బాడీలో ఉండే మిస్ఫోల్డెడ్ ప్రోటీన్స్, amyloid deposits or excess fat అన్నిటిని రీసైకిల్ చేసి ఫ్రమ్ ద సెల్యులర్ లెవెల్ అంటే మైటోకాండ్రియా లెవెల్ నుంచి దాన్ని రీసైకిల్ చేసి ఇట్ విల్ టర్న్ ఇంటూ గుడ్ ఫ్యాట్స్ అండ్ ప్రోటీన్స్. అంటే లిటరల్ గా చెప్పాలి అంటే యూ విల్ బికమ్ యంగర్. ఒక 10 years బ్యాక్ మీరు ఎట్లా ఉండే అంత వైటల్ అండ్ అంత ఎనర్జెటిక్ గా తయారవుతారు. లాట్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ కన్ఫ్యూజ్ లుకింగ్ అట్ మీ విత్ మై ఏజ్. చాలా మంది కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతారు బికాస్ దిస్ ఇస్ ద సైన్స్ విత్ autophagy. అండ్ చాలా మంది, నేనే కాదు, ఇట్లా చాలా మంది స్టోరీస్ ఉన్నాయి. వి క్రియేటెడ్ అండ్ దిస్ సైన్స్ గాట్ నోబెల్ ప్రైజ్ ఇన్ 2016. దిస్ ఈస్ ద వన్ యూ నీడ్ టు గెట్ ఎడ్యుకేటెడ్. అంటే వాట్ వీ బిలీవ్ ఇస్ ఇక్కడ కూర్చుని ఒక సోల్ ని ఎడ్యుకేట్ చేస్తే వీఆర్ నాట్ ట్రైంగ్ టు ఎడ్యుకేట్ జస్ట్ యూ, we are trying to educate your family and your loved ones also. Okay, so these are the transformations we worked on. And very few chala unna transformations, we don't have the time to see that. Idi ina chala chronic diabetic annamata. You can see his blood work, it shows 11.9 HbA1c and it is now 7.8. It has come down to 7.8. Still the best part is he is in our mentorship and very soon we are expecting him to be out of the diabetic range. And yeah, these are some of the values of his blood work and classic example of a diabetic reversal. You can see her blood work, HbA1c 11.1 and after blood work is 5.2. And you can see he is my cousin actually, he pursues MBBS. Okay, so he used to be very fat. This is possible. Yeah, ఇట్లాంటి స్టోరీస్ there are చాలా చాలా స్టోరీస్ ఉన్నాయి. అండ్ టు టేక్ ఆన్ ఫ్రమ్ హియర్, let me introduce my wife, Dr. Anusha, to share her story. I'm really excited to call her. So let's invite her to share some key insights, and what are the insights and what are the actionable insights you can follow from now. Okay, so
good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Anusha. I was assistant professor working in some organization, and also by passion I was working as a wellness coach. See, ippadi what they explained you, what they told you, all these are like the science which I learned in my graduation. Like, I studied all these science during my graduation, but I don't know, by using that science we can resolve and we can become healthy. See, there are some things which we need to understand, and there are some things which we need to learn. Those are like how we are, means the results which Naresh has showed you, how we are getting those results means there are some things like you need to follow the key like moderation and consistency. If you are going to follow this for your, there are some things like you need to consistently maintain your meal plan, and also you need to have like 80% of nutrition, like the food which you are eating, like Naresh told, like you are eating too much of carbohydrates are being there in your plate, and మీరు తీసుకునే ఫుడ్ లో ప్రోటీన్స్ తక్కువ ఉంటున్నాయి, అండ్ మీల్ ప్లేట్ తీసుకుంటే too much of snacking ఉంటుంది. These are like very small things which we don't consider, but our body will consider those are big things. ఇప్పుడు ఏమైపోతుందంటే by maintaining 80% of nutrition and by maintaining the balanced meal plate, like 50% of this carbs, 25% of fat, and 25% of protein, and also some amount of fiber. These are all the things which we need to include in our plate. ఎప్పుడైనా మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేశారా మీ మీల్ ప్లేట్ లో ఇవన్నీ ఉండడం? Just you are eating like morning you are having some breakfast like South Indian breakfast, idli, dosa or something whatever they prepared, and for the lunch you are having some rice, dal or some curry, and also for the night you are having like 2 rotis something, and in between you are having too much of snackings that we won't consider. But ఎప్పుడైనా సరే మీరు ఆలోచించారా వాట్ యువర్ బాడీ నీడ్స్ అని? అంటే మీ టంగ్ ఏం అడుగుతుంది అని కాదు, వాట్ యువర్ బాడీ రియల్లీ నీడ్స్ అనేది మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా ఆలోచించారా? నో వన్, నాట్ ఈవెన్ మన పేరెంట్స్ కూడా మనకి ఎప్పుడు నేర్పించింటారు. అండ్ హౌ మనం ఎలా అయిపోయాం రీసెంట్ టైమ్స్ లో అంటే, వి యూస్ టు కుక్ వాట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇన్స్టంట్, అంటే వీఆర్ నాట్ హ్యావింగ్ టైమ్ ఫర్ టు కుక్ న్యూట్రిషియస్ మీల్. సో ఆలోచించి ఇది అవసరం అండ్ మై ఫ్యామిలీ నీడ్స్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ అని ఆలోచించకుండా వీఆర్ జస్ట్ హ్యావింగ్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇన్స్టెంట్లీ వీ కెన్ కుక్, అండ్ దోస్ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ లైక్ అవి కూడా ఎలా అంటే ఎలా తినాలి అండ్ హౌ టు ఈట్ అండ్ వాట్ టు ఈట్ అండ్ వెన్ టు ఈట్ వీ డోంట్ నో. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ కీ ప్రాబ్లమ్ వాట్ ఈస్ కాజింగ్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. అండ్ అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్, మన బాడీ నరేష్ చూపించినట్టు ఇట్స్ అంటే ఒక ఫుల్ ఆఫ్ స్ట్రెస్ కండిషన్ లో ఉంటుంది. మన ఆర్గన్స్ అన్ని చూస్తే దే ఆర్ లైక్ ఫుల్లీ ప్యాక్డ్ with visceral fat, and they are like under too much of stress. And మన బాడీలో ఎప్పుడైతే ఇఫ్ అవర్ బాడీ is having too much of stress, like food stress అవ్వచ్చు, people stress అవ్వచ్చు, or any type of stress, if our body is going through, it is going to release a hormone called cortisol. So whenever our body release cortisol, it is equally like glucose. Like if you eat a cake, how much amount of glucose your body is going to produce, that much amount of glucose is going to produce when your body is under stress. But no one is going to address your stress, and no one is going to relieve your stress by doing so many things. What are the things that we need to do to relieve all this stress means, first you need to correct your meal plate. Like how everybody is different, like me and Naresh both started our meal plan together, but our meal plan is different because we are two different human beings and we are having two different human bodies, which will asking for two different nutritional support. So we differentiated our meal plate even though we are doing it together, and by maintaining this, and we are going to reduce the food stress by maintaining your meal plate with balanced nutrition what your body is asking. And next one is like 80% if you will consider all these things with the nutrition, and when you resolve all this stress, remaining 20% is it's like a breeze. Okay, and so many people are being under stress, like you are being under stress of your exams, your SEM, and you are going to go for your different types of participations in different things, and so much of stress you are also being under there. So you need to reduce all these things, and we are also participating, like we are doing some activities like Ikigai Club, and we are doing some exercises which will be helpful for you. And why, even though I was a doctor. Basically, my profession is like I was a doctor and I studied all these science. Why I turned up into a wellness coach and why I am helping so many people means I was very obese. By the age of 25, I used to have severe back pain. I don't know whom to consult and how I don't know how to resolve it properly. So I started visiting so many orthopedicians and so many doctors and so many experts in this field. So they suggested so many pills and so many tablets and so many exercises for me to resolve my condition. So I started using the tablets. Whenever I use the tablet, I relieve my back pain. Again, after the tablet, I used to have the back pain as usual. So what my body is, I mean, నా బాడీ ఎలా అయిపోయిందంటే ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ హ్యావింగ్ ద టాబ్లెట్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు రిజాల్వ్ మై back pain condition. So I was very much dependent on my tablets. By the time I used to, and I was thinking of a root cause, what is the reason for my back pain. At the age of 25, it's a very young age, and my parents are also very concerned about this back pain condition. And so, what is the main reason? I was thinking in that place, like, what is the main reason and what is the cause for my back pain? Then I clearly came to know, like, my obesity is the main reason for my back pain. And because of my overweight, compression of my L3 and L4 are happening, which is causing severe back pain to me. So then I started working on my weight loss. Like Naresh Chepnatu, we used to work like so many YouTube lo kelli whatever the information we have, we'll try to work it on our body. And whether it is good for my body or whether it is bad for my body, and adi cheyadam valla whether it is causing anything good or bad anedi I don't know. Just there is information I was following. By that, even though not doing అంటే ఒక గుడ్ చేయడం కన్నా I suffered my body a lot by using so many different ways. Then I was totally fed up. I don't know and I don't want to suffer my body అంటే ఇంకా ఎక్కువ సఫర్ చేయాలని నాకు అనిపించలేదు. Then I was totally not in a stage to do anything further. Then Naresh came up with this community, and I was like, when my mentor Narendra told me like you can reduce your weight, I was like literally, oh, whether it will happen, I'm not having any hopes like I can even reduce 1 kg of my body weight because I tried so many. Then by coming into this community, I reduced my weight. Within 90 days, we both started our meal plan. We both happily reduced our weight, and I resolved my back pain condition. But I can see, like, so many people are being sitting in this hall, and so many women are being suffering with this condition in your home, like your mother or your elder ones or your surrounding people. So many people don't know what to do. By not knowing anything, they are doing so many things which are doing damage to their body. So I learned this science and I understand this science and I understand this pattern of working in different human bodies, and I started helping so many people. Like I was working on the women health, like I was working on PCOD and infertility cases. There are so many women, like whenever we are used to go for the medical camps or whenever we used to go for some anything like which is related to our hospital camps, I used to visit so many schools, like government schools and also some intermediate colleges. Those girls, they don't know whom, అంటే వాళ్ళకి ఎవరితో మాట్లాడాలి, they don't know whom to talk and they don't know what to talk about their condition, like irregular periods. Even though now you are like 20, how much you are free like to talk all these conditions with your, apart from your mother. Even though if you visit a doctor also, you will feel little shy to share all your experience. Is it true? Yes. So they come up with so many problems. They don't know who, I mean, they are literally suffering and they don't know the condition. Like 65% of people, they don't know they are having PCOS. And if you are having a PCOS and if you are not having proper guidance to resolve your PCOS, it is going to convert into infertility. So many infertility cases, what they are coming up with us are having previously PCOS or PCOD condition. So I was working on them and I was literally, and why can't I help all these people? At least if sharing of some information is going to helpful to someone means why can't I share? I was working, I used to go to a hospital, I used to work with some people, I used to do some cases. Why can't I share the information? That's what I came up, and I was helping with so many people by sharing the information and the knowledge what we are having. By doing little changes in your lifestyle or by doing some little corrections in your eating patterns or with your regular lifestyle, you can happily resolve your conditions. So that is what we are doing and dealing. Okay, so I want to share some cases like my sister, my cousin sister. She is having PCOD from her early, like after menstruation itself, she is having irregular periods. We don't know. And we visited so many doctors, we visited so many homeopathy, different things, and she didn't resolve her condition. Rather than resolving, when at last we visited an endocrinologist. He is a doctor who is dealing with the hormones. So we visited an endocrinologist and he scolded literally like anything. Like how you can suffer your body like this by taking different pills and different ideas, not knowing anything what happened to your body. How can you use all these things? By using all those things, you suffered your body a lot. Even after that also, she didn't resolve her condition. But recent times, after coming to know about this community, I started working these things with my sister and she resolved her condition, and now she is very happy with her menstruation and everything. And resolve, and మీకు ఇందాక చూపించినట్టు facial hair అవ్వచ్చు. If you have facial hair, we'll go to parlor and we'll remove it. And if you have acne, we'll go for a facial. But we are not working on why it is happening to your body. Simply coming off acne is not a, అంటే ఏదో ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఇఫ్ యూ కొంచెం ట్యాన్ అయిపోవడం వల్ల వచ్చిందో లేకపోతే కొంచెం ఏదైనా ఇబ్బంది వల్ల వచ్చిందో కాదు. ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఇట్స్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ టు యువర్ బాడీ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ హార్మోన్స్. సో వర్క్ ఆన్ ద హార్మోన్స్ అండ్ రిజాల్వ్ యువర్ కండిషన్స్. ఈ విధంగా దెర్ ఆర్ సో మెనీ కేసెస్ అండ్ సో మెనీ క్లయింట్స్ వేర్ వీఆర్ వర్కింగ్. సో బై ద ఎండ్ వాట్ వీఆర్ కన్వేయింగ్ మీన్స్ దెర్ ఆర్ లిటిల్ కరెక్షన్స్ యూ నీడ్ టు డూ ఫర్ యువర్ బాడీ అండ్ దెర్ ఆర్ సమ్ లిటిల్ కరెక్షన్స్ ఫర్ in your meal plate. By doing those things, you can resolve your conditions. And main part, నేను కానీ నరేష్ కానీ ఇండివిజువల్ గా మేము మీల్ ప్లాన్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు వీఆర్ నాట్ హ్యావింగ్ ఎనీవన్ టు గైడ్ అస్ అండ్ we don't know whom to ask if we got any doubt. అంటే నాకు ఇప్పుడు ఏదైనా డౌట్ వచ్చింది, I got some problem during my meal plan, I got something during my some diet chart లో కానీ లేకపోతే ఎనీథింగ్, I don't know whom to ask. But why it is like ఈస్ట్ లో ఎందుకు అయింది మాకు అని అంటే బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ కమ్యూనిటీ. సో దానికి ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఎ వెరీ బ్లెస్డ్ ఫర్ us to be in the as a part of this community. So next Naren sir will take over.
So we have listened from our senior wellness coaches about their journey, and I'll just give you one analogy. हिंदी में बोलती हूँ, ठीक है? For you all, अगर एक रोड है, रोड पे गड्ढे हैं, आपको चलना है उस रोड पे, तो बैंडेज के साथ चलोगे कि मैं गिर जाऊंगा तो बैंडेज लग दूंगा, या वो रोड को ठीक करवाओगे? रोड को ठीक कराओगे. So that's what we discussed. We need to work on the root cause and just not fix the symptoms or suppress the symptoms. हमने अभी ये सीखा. Now, have you all seen लगान? उसमें एक song है, 5 मिली तो बन गई मुट्ठी. Yes. So we'll now see the power of community. Why being with the community will help you to have that energy to keep the consistency and nutrition. 80% nutrition, 20% is exercise, de-stressing and everything. We'll help you to do that. We'll see that video once. Prior to that, what is important is having your biomarkers ready. Biomarkers means your blood test reports. Previously, we have seen the triglyceride by HDL count. All those blood markers, and there are several other blood markers in your blood test reports that can be a cause of major concern. If you're not obese from outside, internally those indicate that you have insulin resistance. So first we recommend our clients to get their biomarkers done, and then we have one-on-one consultation because every case is different. You have seen Dr. Anusha's case was different from Mr. Naresh's case. So now we will see about the power of community, how we all wow community make it happen.
Never be enough from the prodigal son. I was born to run, I was born for this. Run me like a race, spin me like a red road. Break me down, rebuild me up. I wanna be the sled, on your left, let it make you red. Break me down, rebuild me up. Whatever it's
So now, I would like to welcome our mentor, the founder of Wow Community, the powerhouse of energy. I guess that you all need that power right now. We need to hear from Mr. Naja Naren sir. A huge round of applause for him. Over to you, sir.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. This is a health seminar. I need a healthy good morning. Good morning, everybody. I have a very great, I'm not sir, my name is Naren. I have a great news for you. In 5 minutes from now, the seminar is going to be over. Wow, now you should be excited. Alright? Because I don't have any slides to play. My name is Naren. How many engineers are here? Most of your engineers or some of your engineers? Happy Engineers Day. And I too belong to an engineering background. I did my chemical engineering from S University Tirupati. Then I did my master's in computer science from Clarkson University, New York, United States. And after that much of education, I realized that I was unfit for a job. I don't know how many of you really, some of you will understand at some point, but while I was at the verge of my studies, I realized that, I was not a job material. So I ventured into businesses, never was into any corporate or never, not even a single day I worked. Then one of the fields that really interested me was the field of nutrigenomics. Have you heard about nutrigenomics? Any person from science background here? Nutrigenomics. The connection between nutrition and genes, gene expressions. Because few of the doctors that very influential, very powerful doctors in the world with whom I developed some very good friendships, they influenced me, they inspired me in this particular field, and I started working along with them and turned into a nutritionist and built businesses in the field of nutrition and wellness, out of which one of my companies is WOW. I've got fitness studios as well with the name of Beats Fitness Studios. So the reason I established WOW is, let me tell you, in 2014, we launched our fitness companies. It is present right now in more than 9+ locations across the state. Most of the clients that come into Beats come with hormonal disorders, especially women, PCOD. And without proper knowledge, even we used to kind of assign them some personal trainers, and I see medical students, many women who join our gym when they are into their first year, but by the time they leave Tirupati after their course, still they will have PCOD. They would have paid lakhs of fees for our gyms. So I was not very happy with this situation, and that's when I'm telling about only a particular set of clients, not everybody. 80% of the clients we offered tremendous results, but those 20-30% we were not happy. That's when we really extended our research and understood that was not connected to exercise at all. That was totally a different phenomena. PCOD, obesity related to certain hormonal conditions, and type 2 diabetes, not chronic. Chronic only doctors have to deal, but in the initial stages, when they are just into those medications like metformin, glycomet, these things can be easily reversed. Unfortunately, if you don't act on time, they become diseases, very dire diseases, right? So WOW started working on that, and our philosophy is totally based on that Nobel Prize science. And thank God that right now WOW has become global, and we have got like more than 50,000 clients across the globe. You got any person here, sitting here, or in any other place or any other country, please do connect them to us. This is a revolution that we guys are doing, and some things cannot be dealt with medicine. Okay, so whatever I am speaking from here, that of whatever science, this is like law of gravity. if I drop this mic here, it has to fall because gravity acts. Similarly, the science will act. If you have the problem, we have the solution. Simple, period, that's it. You have PCOD, I have the solution. That's it, period. I will solve it. No questions asked. You have type 2 diabetes. You might have a question like, how can you say that I have been with doctors for the past, been with us for 90 days. You have been with doctors for last 10, 15 years, right? Let's deal for the next 90, 120 days. It's all scientific. Okay, no bullshit, no fad diets or nothing. It's all scientific. You're all educated people. We'll try to educate you right in the beginning how the course is gonna be. Only after that we'll take you into the course. So any person you come across, please there is our app. Probably, is that our app? No, that's not the app. Okay, you can download our app from Google or that App Store. So do connect with us, and we'd like to let us, because we are working with a mission of 1 million people by 2030, touching 1 million people by 2030. We are definitely want to make that happen, and that's one of the reasons I'm visiting many universities, and probably this month and I'm visiting Mysore University, because wherever we have clients in Mysore University, we have many clients who reverse their PCOD conditions, and the staff there invited us. So please do get in touch with us if you got any. Is there a Q&A now?
Yes, sir. So now the most important session of all, whatever you have heard, you have any questions regarding your condition, you have any questions with any of the science you have heard or the solution, you can just throw your questions right now. It's a safe space. No one is going to judge you. We all are experts here. So sir is going to answer your questions. So you can just raise your hand if you have any question and ask.
Yeah, please. Yeah, someone raised their hand there. We want a mic.
Oh yeah, we have one. Who is the one who raised the hand, please? Yeah.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi.
My question is, are you guys focusing on the weight loss or any other point? If yes, what's the difference between WOW and Healthify Me app?
Healthify Me, WOW, they're almost very similar apps, but our approach is totally different. Healthify Me doesn't focus on autophagy. You understand? Autophagy is our philosophy. WOW's philosophy is autophagy. Healthify Me is a customized plan with carbs, XYZ. I am not authorized to comment on Healthify Me, but I was into Healthify Me just to study the patterns. But right now, I don't belong to Healthify Me, so I really cannot comment on that. But WOW totally is based on autophagy. There are very few companies in India right now which work on autophagy. We have one plan which works for the first 90, 120 days, and one plan which we'll implement with the client after 120 days, maintenance plan. So our philosophy is totally different. But app, yeah, most of the fitness health apps, they are very similar. You'll have calorie count, you'll have water count, the activity steps, those things will be there. But the customization, the mentoring part, all these things are like absolutely different.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, great question. So one of the other aspect I would like to add, sir, is the education. You need not have to be a client of any company for your lifelong. You should have that power and education with you so that you can lead a healthy life till, like, what's the average age? 70? Let's make it 100. So you need to learn that science yourself. You should not depend on any third party. After you have decreased your weight, you have reversed your conditions, we'll empower you to have that knowledge with you to just go on with your life, regular life, after your conditions are reversed. Okay, next question. Yeah. You can introduce yourself, your name, and which year you are.
I am Vivek. I have B Pharmacy branch. I belongs to Bihar. I belongs from Bihar. My question is from Naresh sir. He told that.
You can ask. You can ask.
He told that because of the too much of insulin, he became fat. He became fat. But my question is that why fat people suffering from the sugar and diabetes? Because there is so too much insulin is present in that person. So why they suffering from diabetes?
Actually, I need a little more clarity on this question. Can somebody elaborate this a little more?
Can I tell you the same in Hindi?
हिंदी में बोल सकते हो आप.
जैसे मोटे लोग में जैसे नरेश सर ने बोला कि मोटे लोग में इंसुलिन ज्यादा होता है जिसकी वजह से वो मोटे हो जाते हैं. ठीक, तो उनको डायबिटीज क्यों होता है? क्योंकि इंसुलिन का काम है कि ग्लूकोज का अपटेक करता है.
Question. I mean, I think he got the logic here. Okay, you belong to science background, B Pharmacy. Okay, fine. The condition that we are talking about here is called hyperinsulinemia. When hypertension किस situation को बोलते हैं?
जहाँ ब्लड प्रेशर ज्यादा
होता है, right? Like that, hyperthyroidism. When the activity is very more, it's called hyper. It's slow hypothyroidism. Like that, when insulin levels is very high, उसको hyperinsulinemia बोलते हैं. And when the insulin level is very high, what happens? First, the condition is, why did the insulin level rise? Did you understand that slide where Naresh spoke about insulin resistance? Why did the insulin level rise in the blood, first of all?
Because क्योंकि वो चाहता है कि जो भी हमारे बॉडी में हम फूड टेक कर रहे हैं उसको ग्लूकोज जो उसमें ग्लूकोज है उसको घटाएगा. इस वजह से इंसुलिन ज्यादा सिक्रेट करता है. हम ज्यादा स्नैक्स वगैरह यूज करते हैं तो इंसुलिन ज्यादा उसमें सिक्रेट करता है ताकि उसको मेंटेन कर सके.
See, for example, your name?
Vivek.
I'll take your example, Vivek. I mean, just for the sake of explaining this question to Vivek, I'm taking the example of molecules, but it doesn't generally happen like that. For example, you eat 50 molecules or 50 units of, you consume 50 units of glucose. 50 units of insulin gets released, which is healthy. And that is the capacity of the cell. इधर तक डायबिटीज नहीं है, इधर तक इंसुलिन भी ज्यादा नहीं है. इनफैक्ट ब्लड में इंसुलिन ही नहीं है. Now, if you don't stop there, if you keep on pumping glucose, the cell's capacity is overloaded. Do you understand that, right? At that point, cell shuts. It's like shutting the door. It says that, Vivek, I am tired right now. हमको थोड़ा वक्त दो. I need a little more rest. उस वक्त जो कुछ भी एक्स्ट्रा ग्लूकोज आप ले रहे हैं, where will that be?
जो एक्स्ट्रा ग्लूकोज होता है उसकी वजह से शुगर होता है.
वो that will remain in the blood, right? That will remain in the blood. Okay. It was supposed to be in the cell, but it is right now remaining in the bloodstream. And the insulin which got released, because the body thinks the glucose is there, I have to send insulin. Now that insulin is also remaining in the bloodstream itself. It hasn't entered the cell. The cell has shut. Because the cell has stopped accepting insulin. That is a condition called as hyperinsulinemia. This is the starting point of diabetes. That is why insulin is called the other side of insulin. The darker side of insulin is it produces fat. It turns this glucose into fat. So insulin is a hormone which is making people obese. Now you understand?
Yeah, somewhat.
So in this 2-hour session, after listening to so much science, you might have understood somewhat, but that's what the power of community is. You will understand 100% when you give yourself some time to digest the science, because this is your body. You need to understand it to overcome it. So, great question. Next question.
Yeah, one more before that.
Yes, sir.
See, the reason in our community we try to educate a client, that doesn't happen in many other companies. I don't want to name. You name? See, for example, Mahati becomes our client with an issue. I'll work with Mahati for the next 90-120 days. There will be a food coach for Mahati. There will be a holistic coach for Mahati. There will be an education coach for Mahati. In the next 90-120 days, my goal is to make sure Mahati gets educated. She should understand her body. She should understand why we are giving this. By the time she leaves the community, she should know, okay, if I eat this, this is gonna happen. That's why most of our clients who left our community 2 years back, 3 years back, they're still maintaining the same health condition. They're extremely happy. Yeah.
Yes, true. So we have one last question. For other questions, okay, we have a lot of okay, 2 questions, and we wrap up the session. You can connect with us with your personalized questions, any questions you have, over the number given and over the email. You can introduce yourself, name and branch, and then you can.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर, माय नेम इज निवेदिता, आई एम फ्रॉम एमबीए डिपार्टमेंट. सर, मेरा ये पूछना है कि आपने अभी बोला कि बीएमआई में अगर जो कैटेगरी में फॉल होता है उसको ये सारे इश्यूज नहीं होते हैं. अगर नहीं होता है तो उसको सारे इश्यूज होते हैं, मतलब जो भी हेल्थ इश्यूज आपने अभी मेंशन किया और बाकी सारे सिम्टम्स भी. तो अगर मैंने पर्सनली बहुत लोगों को देखा है कि बीएमआई में वो फॉल करते हैं, मतलब प्रॉपर उनका बीएमआई है, और तो भी बहुत सारे सिम्टम्स उनको होते हैं और उनकी ब्लड रिपोर्ट्स भी सही होती है. ये भी मैं ब्लड रिपोर्ट्स में भी आती हूँ कि ब्लड रिपोर्ट्स में भी उनकी सारी जो चीजें वो सही रहती हैं, तो भी उनको पेट दुखना, सर दुखना और एंजाइटी इश्यूज ये सारे बहुत होते हैं. तो सर क्यों? अगर डाइट का है कि डाइट वो गलत ले रहे हैं, तो अगर डाइट वो गलत ले रहे हैं तो फिर उनको वो जो ब्लड रिपोर्ट्स हैं उनका बीएमआई में उसे क्यों इफेक्ट नहीं होता?
See, BMI, just for the sake of showing you, we showed here because that's very people go by BMI, but as nutritionist, as a wellness coach, I don't recommend BMI. I mean, BMR is more accurate. Okay, BMI don't fall for BMI.
Okay? What's BMR?
Basal metabolic rate. That's a whole different subject. Okay. Now coming to your second question, if all the biomarkers are intact, why are those kind of people are also suffering from certain disorders?
Exactly.
Now, what the biological range is showing in the lab and what some advanced sciences are telling about those reports are different. The labs haven't got sophisticated to that point yet. That's what Naresh was telling. Certain ratios, certain parameters we calculate and we come out with root cause. This is first thing. And for other conditions like some headaches and anxiety, there could be some issues in their house or their personal things. You understand? Even we get clients like that also. They will be with us for 1 month. After that, we find out that the root cause is something else. You get it?
So what to do in this case?
They should do. Okay. You see, if it is a nutritionist thing, I can definitely get it done.
Weight and BMI has nothing.
Let me tell you, few clients we personally recommended them to other psychologists. You understand that, right?
Yes.
They had some other issues. Because of that, they are putting on weight. If as long as biomarkers thing are concerned, yeah, get the tests done. Let us evaluate that. Don't go as per the lab report. Oh, subnormal head. There is nothing in red flag. We will decide which is a red flag.
So these are basically psychological issues and not health issues if you are considering.
Rarely. 1 or 2 cases hota hai, like psychological. But if you think you are putting on weight or there is PCOD issue or something, get those tests done. That's my sincere advice.
Okay, so thank you so much.
So, if you that I'll ask, if your question is about the signs that we have talked, insulin resistance or the hormonal disorders, please go ahead.
హాయ్ సార్,
హాయ్,
కుడ్ యూ స్పీక్ తెలుగు?
తెలుగు చెప్పు.
అంటే నా జీవితంలో నేను గమనించింది ఏంటంటే, కొంతమంది నేను డైట్ ఫాలో అవుతున్నా, కొంచెమే తింటున్నా, నేను వెయిట్ లాస్ అవ్వడానికి అంటారు. కానీ నేనైతే గమనించింది ఏంటంటే, వాళ్ళలో ఏ చేంజ్ ఓవర్ ఉండదు, అలానే ఉంటారు. కానీ అది రియాలిటీ నిజమా, లేకపోతే అది వాళ్ళు అనుకోవడమేనా? మీ ఆన్సర్ ఏంటి నా నుంచి?
There is a difference between eating less and eating right. తక్కువ తినడం వలన మనిషి తగ్గిపోతాడు అనుకోవడము అతి పెద్ద అపోహ. యాక్చువల్ గా ఇందాక తను చెప్తాను అనుకుంటా, అమ్మాయి బాడీని హింసించడం అంటారు తక్కువ తినడం అంటే. ఆడ నీకు తినాలని ఉంటది, నువ్వు తినలేవు. యూ అండర్స్టాండ్? ఎక్కువ తినాలి, యాక్చువల్లీ రైట్ తినాలి. వీ కాల్ దిస్ as సెల్యులార్ న్యూట్రిషన్. నీ సెల్కి ఏమి కావాలో అది. ప్రోటీన్ ఇప్పుడు నీ వెయిట్ ఎంత?
72 సార్.
యూ హ్యావ్ టు గివ్ 72 grams ప్రోటీన్ టుడే. 72 grams ప్రోటీన్ నువ్వు ఇవ్వాలి. ఈ రోజు మార్నింగ్ బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్ ఏం చేసావు?
ఇడ్లీ అండి, 2 eggs మాత్రం.
ఇడ్లీ
2 eggs.
2 eggs తిన్నావు. అసాధ్యుడు. 12 గ్రాముల ప్రోటీన్ వచ్చింది. ఎందుకంటే 2 ఎగ్గులు ఒకేసారి ఆన్సర్ చెప్పేది వినేది నేను చాలా రేర్ అనమాట. ఎవరో ఒక ఎగ్ చెప్తారు. ఓకే, 2 eggs. లంచ్ ఏం తింటావు?
లంచ్ నార్మల్ సార్, దాల్ అండ్ రైస్.
ఓకే, దానిలో ఒక 5-6 grams 10 grams వేసుకుందాం ప్రోటీన్. 12 + 10 22.
సైలెన్స్ ప్లీజ్.
ఆసమ్ యా. 22 grams ప్రోటీన్. ఓకే, ఇన్ ద నైట్?
ఎస్ సార్.
నైట్ ఏం తింటావు?
నైట్ నార్మల్ సాంబార్, పెరుగు కూడా.
మేబీ ఒక 10 grams వేసుకుందామా? 32 grams. ఒక అడిషనల్ మార్క్స్ వేసుకుందామా? 10 grams ప్రోటీన్. టోటల్ 40 అయింది. ఇప్పటికీ నువ్వు ఎంత డెఫిసిట్ ఉన్నావు ప్రోటీన్ ఈ రోజు? రఫ్ గా
30.
ఇంకా 30 ఉన్నావు, అవునా? సి యువర్ నేమ్?
మౌలాలి సార్.
మౌలాలి ఈజ్ డెఫిసిట్ ఆఫ్ 30 grams ఆఫ్ ప్రోటీన్ టుడే. మీ ముందే క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసినాం. మీరందరూ కూడా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసుకోండి. యూ హ్యావ్ సంథింగ్ కాల్డ్ ఎస్ ప్రోటీన్ క్యాలిక్యులేటర్స్ ఇన్ యువర్ మొబైల్. గూగుల్ ఉంటుంది. మరి ఏం మౌలాలి బానే ఉన్నాడు కదా, ఈ రోజుతో ఏం కాదు. అందుకే ఈ రోజు ఎనర్జీతో ఉన్నాడు. మేము అందరినీ సైలెన్స్ ప్లీజ్ అన్నాడు. ఇదే కంటిన్యూ అయింది అనుకోండి, తర్వాత మౌలాలినే సైలెంట్ ఉంటాడు. ఎవరు సైలెన్స్ ప్లీజ్ అనాల్సిన పనే లేదనమాట.
యాక్చువల్లీ ఐ హావ్ స్టేజ్ 4, కానీ నా స్టేజ్ 4 ఉన్న ఫస్ట్ టైం లేచి ధైర్యం క్వశ్చన్ అడిగాను సార్.
I give him a big round of applause. Awesome. Even I have stage fear. I had stage fear once. So
basically I am an introvert, కానీ నేను ఇంట్రోవర్ట్ నుంచి ఎక్స్ట్రోవర్ట్ గా మారడానికి ట్రై చేస్తున్నా.
That's awesome. మౌలాలి
సార్,
మ్యాజిక్ ఆఫ్ థింకింగ్ బిగ్ అనే ఒక బుక్ ఉంది, చదువు.
I have read sir.
You read it?
Okay.
సరే, నా క్వశ్చన్ కి అంటే నీ క్వశ్చన్ కి ఆన్సర్ అర్థమైందా?
అర్థమైంది సార్.
నువ్వు 40 grams డెఫిసిట్ లో ఉంటావు కదా. ఇప్పుడు బాడీ ఏం చెప్తుందంటే, ఈటింగ్ రైట్ అంటే యూ షుడ్ బి గివింగ్ దట్ 72 grams ప్రోటీన్. దాన్ని హౌ యూ గోయింగ్ టు బ్యాలెన్స్ ఇన్ దిస్ 3-4 meals అనేది, దట్ ఈస్ హౌ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు వర్క్. సో రైట్ తినాలన్నమాట. తక్కువ తిని లాభం లేదు, నేను ఒక్కరోజే తింటాను. నో, ఇట్స్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు వర్క్ లైక్ దట్.
అలా నమ్మే వాళ్ళకి మీరు ఇచ్చే సమాధానం ఏంటి?
నథింగ్. మాతో టచ్ లో ఉండాలని మేము చూసుకుంటాం.
ఓకే సార్,
థ్యాంక్ యూ. So back to India, guys, and thank you very much for your patient listening. Give yourself a big round of applause. Thank you very much.
So we'll wrap up today's session. Hope it was informative. If you have any other doubts, we are here for next 10 minutes. You can come and just ask us if you have any doubts, personal doubts if you have. Otherwise, you can send your doubts to this number, or you can just email to this email address. So thank you all for coming today. Just 1 second. There's just last 1 minute. Ma'am would be taking you up.
Yeah, all the students, please stay back for a minute. First of all, we thank all the dignitaries who are present over here, all the resource persons, and we also thank the students for joining the session. So, I request Dr. Ruth Ramya ma'am and as well as Sri Lakshmi ma'am along with myself to felicitate our resource persons for the day. I'll call upon Mr. Raja Naren Tirumala Garu to please be present on the dais.
We also request the Women's Forum committee members who are present over here to please join on the dais. All one by one.
And now I invite our senior wellness coaches, Allur Naresh Garu and Dr. Anusha. Now I would like my sister Nikita Bapatla.
Yes, I request Vindhya Bapatla.
Oh, thank you so much. So we would like to end this session with one quote that truly intrigues me a lot. It is given by Confucius, right? So it says that we have two lives. The second one starts when we realize we only have one life. So live it to the fullest, live it healthy, educate yourself. इसके साथ बॉडी के साथ ही रहना है हमें. तो educate yourself and try to think about it. Thank you all. I hope this information was very useful for you all. And you can connect with us with your queries if you want. We will be here for next 10 minutes.